Before we get on to things, I just want to say that there won't be any jump scares in this video. Ha! You thought I was actually going to fool you with one. Nah, I'm a bit too lazy to actually edit in jump scares. Anyways, moving on. From one game with no story to around 8 games with too much of one. So, Five Nights at Freddy's, or FNaF for short. I never thought the time would come. The indie horror phenomenon developed by one guy using Click Team Fusion. It is fascinating that this series still continues to live on in stride despite the original entry coming out around 7 years ago. The gameplay, for the most part, is extremely simple, only using the mouse to click a few buttons here and there, but that's not really the whole reason why this glorified point-and-click game series has such a massive following. You see, to an outsider, it may just look like you're playing as a guy who has to defend himself from a bunch of Chuck E. Cheese knockoffs. There is so more to discover here, such as the intricately detailed atmosphere, an inexplicably complicated story that's so hidden in the cracks it may as well be pocket change in between a pair of couch cushions. Wait, what the hell even was that analogy? We have things like a bunch of cryptic Atari-style minigames, novels, hints/Easter eggs everywhere, and a whole lot of game theory videos to explain how this crap works. This absolute shite heap they call lore may or may not be concrete, as things keep on being added and retconned ad nauseum. Things like names, relations, themes, gimmicks, and the timeline of events are constantly changing as the series goes on. So here's how the story goes on, or at least what I think is the most accepted version of the story so far. Keep in mind that I'm only going to be talking about the games and not any of the books, because from what I know, they're a whole different beast that may be canonical to the games but aren't in the same continuity. Yeah, there's a difference between the terms. Checked. Okay, let's go then. In the first installment of the series, set in the 1990s, I think, you play as a security guard in a pizzeria who spends 5 nights defending himself from a bunch of very marketable yet haunted animatronics who try to stuff him in one of their suits, all the while being given tutorials by a character voiced by the creator of the series, which is neat, and utilizing doors that use very limited energy to close for some reason. Original joke there, I know. Surprisingly, this entry is pretty tame in the lore department, while also packing a good amount of mystery. So there's that, I guess. Second installment, you play as another damn security guard in another damn pizzeria, defending himself against another damn set of animatronics on top of the original 5. Wait, what? This goes on for another 5 nights. Sorry, I mean another damn 5 nights. But in the end, you get bit in the frontal lobe by this thing, resulting in this event called the Bite of 87. Honestly, I don't really understand how this event is so important. It's not really used later on. So yeah, take that as you will. Here we get the introduction of the Atari minigames, which give out a bunch of backstory explaining why these things are haunted in the first place. And guess what? It's because a man with a very violent appearance came up, killed like 6 children, and stuffed them into animatronic suits. These suits were then given life by the puppet, and because no human would really be all that happy about just being violently murdered, they live on with a vengeance and try to go after the one who killed them. Also, FNaF 2, which is the numbered sequel to FNaF 1, was actually revealed to be a prequel, which I think I spoiled earlier by mentioning the Bite of 87, but moving on. Third installment, set 30 years after those kids were killed. You play as yet another damn security guard working in a horror show this time haunted by the spirits of Freddy and the gang. They can't kill you, but the one actual animatronic in the game can. Called Springtrap, this gnarly looking mother lover is a goddamn violent man himself inside a suit and decayed for 30 years, until he was found by some staff and put in your workplace as an attraction. If I'm going to be honest here, this dude's my favorite animatronic in the series. From the concept, to the design, to the backstory, it's just all good stuff with this guy. So it was shown in more mini-games that after the murder dude heard that the animatronics from the previous games were haunted, he took it upon himself to dismantle all of them like the asshole he is. The souls of his victims that were trapped in the suits come out, the guy gets scared and enters a spring-locked suit, but then the springs tighten up too much due to moisture and quote-unquote kills him inside it. Later on in the story, after what feels like doing gymnastics through the minigames with all the intentional glitches, all the souls get laid to rest, and the horror attraction gets burned down with Springtrap inside it. But being the quote-unquote man he is, he's not going to go out like that all too easily. And you thought it was over. Fourth installment, set even before FNaF 2, sees you playing as a child, defending himself from his monstrous nightmares in his bedroom with two entryways for some reason. You see, people weren't too happy with how the last game played. Despite it being made to end off the series, the creator of FNaF decided to make another game, this time explaining, I guess, how all of this began, and also introducing elements that would later be retconned, including a literal mystery box that would make J.J. Abrams proud. Backstory in this game revolves around a kid who's terrified of the animatronics, being bullied by his brother and his friends, the little shits, and his father being the creator of these things. Spoiler, the kid's father is Purple Man himself. He gets taken by his brother and has his head placed between the jaws of Fredbear, aka not Freddy. The jaws close and the kid becomes a victim of the bite of 83. Hey, another bite. That's fun. Still not that important, but moving on. The kid later then dies from his injuries. I think. Out of all the child murders, this one seems to be the most morbid, don't you think? Next, we have the spin-off RPG, FNaF World. Not really all that much involved with the overall story, other than introducing some characters and teasing the next game. Oh hey, I found the shortest story description. That's nice. So let's move on already. The fifth game, given the subtitle of Sister Location, has you playing as a maintenance worker doing various tasks in an underground warehouse for a spin-off location featuring Circus Baby as its mascot. But being a Five Nights at Freddy's game, we still have the titular character in the crew. The backstory here includes a little girl who gets lured by Baby with some ice cream and gets stuffed inside the thing, killing her in the process. While you work in the warehouse, you get guided by Baby to not get killed by the other crew. You get kidnapped by her and eventually guided to the scooper room and get your insides scooped out. Yay! Five Nights at Freddy's, everyone. From animatronics to scooping out insides. Baby and co merge into the chimera called Ennard and get inside you like you're a skin suit. Eventually, rotting husk becomes too much to handle, so they eject out of you. You also still survive without insides, so hey, that's neat I guess. Damn it. The sixth game, and I thought this series was supposed to end at 3. Called Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria simulated to fool audiences into thinking this was a side project, has you pulling off a managerial role in yet another damn pizzeria, running the business and salvaging a bunch of old animatronics, including the puppet, spoiler, Baby and what's left of Ennard, she got kicked out for some reason, and lastly the man behind the slaughter himself, looking very much worse for wear. There goes my favorite design in the series. In the end, a guy who turned out to be the father of the girl who got killed by Baby sets the restaurant ablaze with you, himself, and everything else inside it. Final game in the Click Team era, we have Ultimate Custom Night. Here you're playing as the purple person in what's essentially hell or some perpetual torment thanks to one soul who doesn't want to let him go. After some hoops and hurdles, we finally have that soul letting go and being put to rest. With this, we've finally reached the end of the series. Ha! Not really, because next we have what's essentially a soft reboot. Currently the last mainline game in the series, FNaF Help Wanted, was developed by an actual indie team instead of just one guy. Here, you're playing as a player of a game that was published by Fazbear Entertainment to clear their name of the past incidents involving them. But because it's goddamn Five Nights at Freddy's, it's gotta have some bullshit story behind it, including the return of the purple guy through a haunted circuit board from Springtrap that was provided to the programmers to help with the in-game AI. Lazy bastards. This resulted in an entity called Glitchtrap taking over the minds of the player and a beta tester, creating followers to call his own like he's forming a goddamn cult. And I thought being used as a skin suit and surviving was the most ridiculous thing to happen in this series. Oh thank god, I'm finally done. And no, I'm not making another FNaF video in this series when any more games come out. Why do I feel like I'm going to contradict myself in the future? You could probably tell that I tried to keep this video as short as I could to sort of keep in line with my last video. But due to how overly convoluted and cryptic this godforsaken plot is, this is the best I could do with such a juggernaut of an indie game franchise. There's still a buck ton of things unanswered and unrevealed, including a new game that's just on the horizon. But hey, now that this is done, I could probably be able to tackle other series of stories like Kingdom Hearts or even Metal Gear Solid. But hey, good luck trying to get me into those hellholes. Hey there, thanks for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed my attempt at simplifying this mess of a story. If you are interested in watching more of these videos, please leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Maybe comment down below on how I can improve this series in the future. Or you can tell me to go fuck myself because I got something wrong about the lore in this series. I don't care, so sue me. Also, Make sure to check out my website in the description below, as it contains a lot of the things I make outside of YouTube, such as on my Instagram, TikTok, Discord server, and more like it. So yeah, go check it out. Just do it. Anyway, I'll see you next time.